Thinking of moving to Oklahoma City? Come here. Are you sure? Well, watch this video and see how you feel. Thanks so much for joining us here today. Is OKC a great place to live? Well, that depends on who you ask. If you've spent any time watching this channel, you've probably heard me talk about living here my whole life. And despite traveling all over the world, Oklahoma City has remained the place that I call home. But let's face it, Oklahoma City isn't going to be for everyone. And that's, well, okay.
Oklahoma, okay.
So in this video, I'm going to talk about some of the things that maybe some people wouldn't love about Oklahoma City and let you decide. But first, if you're thinking about moving to the Oklahoma City area, whether it's in the next few weeks or few months from now, listen, I would absolutely love the opportunity to help make a smooth move here to OKC. You're going to find my contact information in the description below, so please feel free to shoot me a call, a text, or an email, and I will certainly get back to you to help you buy that perfect home here in OKC. Now, let's get real. OKC may not be the best place for those with a tinge of road rage. Okay, now I'm partially kidding, but one thing I do want to let you know if you plan to move here to Oklahoma City is likely people are driving a little bit slower than you're used to if you're coming from a major city. This was brought to my attention by somebody who recently moved here to Oklahoma City, and they said, "Jonathan, why does everybody here in Oklahoma City drive so slow?" Now, I have to admit, when I was younger and I traveled to other cities, particularly Dallas, I often thought people drove a little crazy. But now that I've had more experience driving all over the country, I have realized that it's true. People here in Oklahoma City just don't drive with a sense of urgency. That's not to say people drive super slow here, but if you're moving here from another major city, it's likely that the traffic is gonna feel like it's just creeping along. Something a lot of people are surprised to learn about is just how hot the summers can be here in Oklahoma City. And it's true, it is not uncommon for us to get 10 or 20 plus days that are 100 degrees or more, sometimes consecutively here through the summers in Oklahoma City. This summer in particular was one of the hottest summers I can remember here in Oklahoma City. In fact, I'm pretty sure we broke a record of the single hottest day we've had at 107 degrees with a heat index of 110. Now, I know if you live somewhere like Phoenix, Arizona, that's not going to seem that hot, but trust me, if you live virtually anywhere else in the country, it's going to seem very hot here in Oklahoma City during the summers. So you'll have to decide, is that for you? And if not, listen, I don't blame you, but if you are going to move here to Oklahoma City, just prepare yourself for our very hot summers. Now, what can be equally surprising to people is learning just how brutally cold the winters can be here in OKC. Sure, we don't get a ton of snow here. There's an average of around 5 to 6 inches every year here in Oklahoma City. However, the temperatures do definitely drop well below freezing here, and the wind can be brutal. Between that wind chill and the wet, cold air, sometimes the winter days can feel unbearable. But the worst of the winter can come with the freezing rain and ice storms that we frequently get here in Oklahoma City. And at their worst, these can cause power outages as tree branches can snap and break power lines. Now, that's not every winter, but don't say I didn't warn you. I just want to take a moment to say if you're gaining any value from this video, please feel free to tap the like button and subscribe to the channel if you like videos like this. I have a ton of videos about Oklahoma City on this channel, so we'd really appreciate it. If you've heard anything about Oklahoma, it probably has something to do with tornadoes. Now, I'm not going to spend this whole section trying to scare you about tornadoes or really even digging too deep. I've actually made another video about the Oklahoma weather where I go pretty deep about tornadoes, and I will link that down below in the description. Suffice it to say, tornadoes are very real and we certainly have to stay aware, but it's not like we're running from them every day or every week like a lot of people seem to think. However, if you're moving here from somewhere that never has tornadoes or even tornado warnings, tornado anxiety is very real. In my experience, for some people, the tornado anxiety can be actually worse than the real tornado danger that exists here. So if even the possibility of tornadoes makes you very nervous, Oklahoma may not be the place for you unless you think you can overcome that fear. But as I often like to say on this channel when I discuss tornadoes, I just want to mention I have lived here all 43 years of my life and have never been in a tornado, so do with that information what you will. This may not come as news to you, but Oklahoma as a state is quite conservative. Oklahoma City is probably more politically diverse than the rest of the state, where it's a little more split down the middle. But I mention this because I don't want it to be a surprise surprise to you moving here to a very red state that it is a little more traditional and conservative throughout the entire state of Oklahoma. So if you happen to be moving from a very liberal city, I just don't want you to be shell-shocked when you move here to Oklahoma. Now, to be clear, I personally am very open, and I think everyone here in Oklahoma City can be very welcoming, so come one, come all. It's just possible that it may be different from the city you're moving from, and I don't want that to be a surprise. Did I mention lack of urgency here in Oklahoma City? Well, that can be true in other public settings as well. Suffice it to say, people here can be sometimes chatty. And by the way, I can relate to that. I can be pretty chatty myself. Here in Oklahoma, we are definitely known to be friendly people, but sometimes, let's face it, you're in a hurry. And that person in front of you in line just cannot stop chatting up the cashier. And all you want to do is get those flaming hot Cheetos and get out of there. No judgment. So if you're moving here to Oklahoma City, I certainly hope you can appreciate the friendly and chatty people. Just know, sometimes it feels like maybe you wish there was a little more urgency. Now, I don't want to bag on OKC too long. As I mentioned, I'm clearly a fan. I've lived here my whole life. So, to switch it up on a more positive note, Oklahoma City has some great new developments in the works. So, if you'd like to know more about those, check out this video right here. And guys, as always, until next time, I certainly hope to OK. See you soon. See ya.